Welcome everybody to Service Drive Revolution. This is your Friday drive-by. A little inspiration, something to think about going into the weekend to hold you over until the big show comes out on Monday. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing good, man. Things are moving along. Life is good.
Life is beautiful.
Yes, it is. Hey, you have those moments, being a service advisor, you have these moments that always stick with you. And I remember this one. You ever have any crazy customers come into the service drive?
Yeah, it's funny when you first become a service advisor, I remember the one that sticks out to me more than anything is, have you ever heard of a Subaru SVX?
I have, yes.
Okay, well, I don't know. It was like Subaru's version of a sports car. It was like their flagship. And unbeknownst to me, these Boeing engineers all bought them. Like there were 12 of them. And I remember nobody wanted to write this guy. And I go out to this guy with a Subaru SVX, and literally I forget the exact number. It was over 20 lines of warranty.
Oh my gosh.
And, I spent 2 hours with the guy. I write this, huge RO, and I put it back in dispatch. The car gets held over because our the dealership I worked at was such a joke. You would write up customers in the morning, and then by 2:00 you were calling to tell everybody who'd had an appointment for 2 weeks that their car wasn't going to get in.
Oh no.
So I call the guy and, I tell him hey, the car isn't going to get in today. It'll be tomorrow. Then the next day the car does get in, and the tech comes up to me and he goes, "You need to get diagnosis." And I'm like, "Well, the car's under warranty." And he's like, "Yeah, but 6 of these are rattles, and this is and rattles are only covered for the first year." And so I had to call this guy and get him to approve diagnosis. And he, it was a disaster. So that one always sticks with me, a Subaru SVX with 20 something lines of warranty.
That's brutal. I almost got fired from my first service advising job because of an Audi A8 client with a rattle inside the car. And I didn't actually write the car properly, and I focused on the noise under the hood, not in the dash area. So yeah, interesting. I have one, and this one, it's talking about kind of the servant's heart, and there's a message here that is kind of woven through this story.
Jeremy, I got one for you.
Oh man, Christian's always good to see you, man.
It's Friday. What does the coronavirus do to jump to cows?
What?
It mutates.
Our in-house Zoom hacker, Christian. That was pretty good.
I thought your firewall was better than that.
You were talking about an Audi A8 that had a rattle and you wrote it up wrong.
Yeah, and so that's not the story I want to share, but I do. Your rattle story just reminded me of that one. I recovered from that one, and then I remember there was always this unwritten law in the dealership that you never let any customers get past the front line. Like the service advisors were we handle stuff. We take care of customers. Customers do not get to talk to the service manager. That's no, you're not going back there. You're not going to talk to the service manager. So I remember, and it's funny how you said, no other advisor went out to write this guy up, and you were the only one. When you become a seasoned advisor, before you run out to the drive, you always kind of look left and look right, just to make sure that nobody else is running the other way. Because if they are, they probably know that customer and know that
you don't know. Yeah.
Right. So I didn't do that. I look out the window, and I always had my desk positioned just right where I could be the first one to see cars pull in, because I'd like to type in their license plate and get ahead of things. So I saw this Passat come in, and it had smoke coming out of it. And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a great ticket." So I'm out on the drive, eagerly awaiting with my pad, and this is before smartphones, and my pen. And the guy gets out, and I say, "Welcome to so-and-so Volkswagen. I'm Jeremy. I'm going to help you." He goes, "Listen, pal, you can't help me. I need to talk to your service manager." I was like, "Whoa, it's okay. No, I can help you."
I stepped in this.
Exactly. I said, no. I'm new here. Give me a chance. I'll solve your problems. We'll take care of you. fact, I promised to give you the best service experience you've ever had. And he goes, you guys have had this car 3 times. It's not fixed. I have surgery in 25 minutes and it's 15 minutes away. So I need to talk to your service manager now. And I said, well, let me get the process started. So I got his key, got the mileage, brought him in, had him at the desk, got the ticket started. And so as, we're writing it up, he goes, okay, I've got 10 minutes to get to the hospital. We need to go. And so I call, the shuttle driver on the radio. Hey, Robert, this is Jeremy in the service drive. I've got a 911. It's hot. I need you now.
He's like, I'm in San Diego.
Right. I'm down in Newport Beach. I'm an hour away. I'm like, oh, no. Okay, so I'm like, oh, next thing, I run over to the loaner car board and I look up and the keys are gone. There's not a car to be found. And so I did what any natural service advisor would do. I blamed it on the parts What's that?
You called him a taxi.
No, I blamed it on the parts department. No, I didn't do that. As I'm walking back to my, I said, come on, Jeremy. I was 2 weeks in this job. I did not want to get fired. Like, this guy was so angry. I knew if he got to my service manager, Mark, that Mark was literally going to throw me out and fire me, and I did not want that to happen. So as I'm walking back to my desk, the guy, you could just see he starts to get red because he knew we didn't have any loaner cars. He knew that we were just so busy at the time. And I reach in my pocket. I say, sir, come with me. I've got a car for you. He says, how did you get a car? I just called an hour ago. There's no cars. Like, the guy I talked to was really rude. And I'm like, it's okay. I know who you spoke to. I've got you taken care of. I handed him the keys to my car. And I had just bought this truck like 2 weeks ago. I had my brand new truck, and it wasn't anything special. It was a Ford Ranger, but I handed him the keys to my truck. He goes, there's no paperwork. And I said, no, you're my friend today. Let's get you going. Here's my truck. Go. He said, well, how are you going to go? I said, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I'll get home somehow. Or I work enough hours. I'll probably just sleep under my desk and wake up at 6 and get back to work. So
you don't understand the life of an advisor.
Exactly, right? So I had always done things like that. To me, it's like, hey, my car is just a tool. It's like no different than a torque wrench in a technician's toolbox. When it needs to be used, it gets used for work. So that was kind of my thing of helping other people get what they want. This guy had a problem. He had to need to get a solution. Our system wasn't going to fix it. It had tried to get fixed before and it was broken. So that was the one thing that I could do to help him at that moment was give him my car. And guess what? He wrote a letter to corporate. He wrote a letter to the dealership owner.
Oh, I bet you he was your friend forever.
You talk about collecting customers and building a trust fund. If I listened to you 30 years ago, I'd still be at that dealership instead of moving around like I did. Stay in one place and build your clientele, right? Absolutely. It's he never let any other advisor work with him, and he referred a ton of his friends and family to us. So, absolutely.
What's that Zig Ziglar quote? You can get everything.
You can get anything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So this is definitely a time where we can help people when the system is under stress and we're in a crisis. This is the time for us to step up as an industry and help people get what sometimes not even what they want, what's survival, what they need right now. It's
Absolutely,
good.
For sure.
That's awesome. Well, that's your drive-by. Now stay tuned for a preview of what's coming up next week. Next week on Service Drive Revolution. We are so excited about this show today, and you should be as well, because it is jam-packed, because, we're in the business of training, Jeremy. That's what you and I do. Can you believe that people used to drive cars? Does that just get you super excited? Would you call that a Woody? Do you get a Woody from that?
Well, it's proven that people that are not originally from California are not as good of drivers as those people from California.
Guess what I was really, really good at?
Driving.
No, I'm calling up God right now. God, I thought God had left me for a minute. Okay, let's hear it.
God abandons none of his children.
All right. God can wait. I've got a good one.
Hey, get the treats. We're going outside. I gotta piss.
That mushy gray, just bland stuff that's like blah.
Do you know that Teslas have karaoke? The stuff you listen to makes Hannity look like Bernie Sanders. So it's like asking Smith & Wesson what they think of the NRA.
They could pry my guns from my cold, dead fingers.
How do I say this?
You had no idea I was going to go down that path, did you?
Thanks for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution's Drive-By. I hope it gives you something to think about over the weekend and inspires some new ideas and hopefully some new results. If you have any questions for the big show, go ahead and post them below in the comments. We'll be looking out for them and we'll answer them on the show. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post new episodes. I'm Chris Collins, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Bulldog Collins. And I'll see you again on the next episode.